Welcome to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the Morgan Knows podcasting network. You're in the ring with Jimmy, Rod, and Chris. It is voting day, and I vote, Rod, to see what you're hot about tonight.
Oh, Jimmy, here's what I'm hot about tonight. You know who I'm hot at? I'm hot at every single person in this country that has ever bought a ticket and gone to a live WWE event. I'm mad at you because
The
you're
whole
getting
country.
your asses handed to you, okay? You are getting your asses handed to you. Every single one of you is greedy. You were overfed. You don't appreciate what you have anymore because one will come around in another 4 to 5 months. You got PLEs you can watch all the time. They're just a couple of ways away. You can hop on a plane or a train, rent a car. There's so many different ways you can see PLEs in this country, so you've gotten lazy. What's the only thing that you've given to wrestling discourse? The what chant. Congratulations, American fans. Thank you very much. French fans, you showed out. Merci beaucoup. I remember some of my French from high school. I appreciate you, French fans. Love wine. Love the Eiffel Tower. Love Ratatouille. Let's go.
Chris, how much French did you learn by watching the pay-per-view? I learned a little bit. I now know what phenomenal means.
To be honest, I didn't learn any French by watching it. I was
Shocking.
not trying. Yeah, I know. Teach an old dog new tricks. That's not going to happen. So I didn't learn any French. Besides, I'm more of a German man. Those two don't mesh.
Wonderful, Chris. Great history lesson there. I just think it's amazing when you have a crowd go into business for themselves, but for the betterment of the show. The Cody Rhodes song was amazing. Them chanting AJ Styles is phenomenal over and over and over again. You know, obviously that's how we learned what that means. The Bailey match, everything about this entire show was made better by the fans, Rod.
Oh, I mean, did we witness peak Jey Uso? I mean, I'm sorry about the fact that peak Jey Uso may be an entrance in France and not a championship belt around his waist, but come on, man. I don't know if I've seen a cooler entrance than that entire place.
Yeah.
Waving their phones all around, right? Like you even saw, we couldn't even reproduce it Monday night on Raw. There was many people in Connecticut that just had their hands down. They were sitting down. I mean, it's just American crowds do better. Jey Uso. Loved it, but I'm sorry. That's probably that's your peak, son. It's just entrance. That's it. You're here for the entrance and never for a belt.
Unfortunately for Jey Uso, we did our heat list just before Backlash because if we were doing it this week, he'd probably be a little bit higher thanks to that French crowd.
Yeah, I think he'd be high. AJ Styles be top 3. You know, it'd be amazing. So, Rod, that was a really good way to start the show. I appreciate that so much. So let's bring it down a little bit. Chris, give me an old man take.
There needs to be an investigation.
Oh.
There needs to be an investigation into Adam Pearce and the way he is running Raw.
What? Okay, do tell. Or is that just it? You're going to leave it there and we're going to have to kind of, it's like a QR code that comes up. What is that?
Explain to me how, as general manager of this brand, your top star, who should be the face of your brand, has an injury that you don't know about and are letting him wrestle in live shows and on European tours, but you don't know about this injury. And then all of a sudden, he has to be medically cleared. I think there needs to be an investigation into Adam Pearce about how he's handled this Drew McIntyre situation and eliminating him from the King of the Ring tournament. And I think Drew McIntyre needs to have a pass and have a chance at getting the title back at the King and Queen of the tournament, PLE, Saudi Arabia.
Okay, wow. So Chris obviously doing a short-sighted take on this as usual. Thank you, Chris, for that. I really appreciate it. So Adam Pearce is an authority figure, okay? He needs to think about what is best for the entire Raw brand. And more importantly, he needs to protect wrestlers from themselves.
Okay,
Drew McIntyre, no, I let you talk. You let me talk, sir. Drew McIntyre would have gone out and could have injured himself more, causing him more time on the sidelines. Adam Pearce is a fantastic authority figure. He's a national treasure. And how dare you say that he is not taking the all-encompassing WWE Raw show, Raw brand into account when he makes these decisions. Rod, I think you're going to have to be the
I understand now why,
fighting now.
why
Okay.
Disney likes CM Punk. It's because he's a corporate stooge, just like CM Punk.
First of all, CM Punk couldn't even get out of the weight room for 2 days. He was trapped in there. A corporate stooge, Chris, would have had a key. That's all I'm saying. Rod, go ahead.
Listen, there's a lot to
Ridiculous.
unpack here. All right. I too must admit that I was a little fishy about Drew McIntyre's arm that just seems to be wrapped in a bandage. That's what we're doing now. People can't medically
Injured.
wrestle when they have a bandage around their arm. So either way, I'm gonna have to eat my words on CM Punk pretty soon because this is some serious heat between these two, and I find myself glued to the screen when either one of them are on. But I can't support Chris's nonsense any longer. I mean, you think that Drew McIntyre should be able to just beat whoever wins the King of the Ring tournament and become king? This is lunacy.
I think there needs to be some reparations to Drew right now, right? There was no reason for him to be taken out of the King of the Ring tournament when he has been wrestling live shows and during the European tour with this injury already. So I don't understand.
Also, I'm
unless
fairly
there
certain
is-
there's different regulations, right? I mean, like when you cross the Atlantic, there's like different ways that you can be medically cleared, not medically cleared. Chris, did you even think about this? Because I know for a
you
fact
are becoming
you worked a
CM Punk
tour
fan
through
too,
Portugal,
aren't ya?
all right? You worked a tour through
Join
Portugal.
the-
You understand work
Get on the
visas.
bandwagon already. CM Punk fan right there.
Rod is sitting cross-legged in the middle of his basement right now with a microphone. That is how much he's on the CM Punk bandwagon. Rod, okay, we're going to go right here. Even as I think the show's number one CM Punk, not hater, just not caring very much, got to admit they're doing a good job.
No, I mean, it's difficult to try to make people care about not wrestling on a wrestling program, right? You get the crowd that starts to be antsy, you get a little bit, what can we actually do? And somehow these guys are figuring it out, right? CM Punk up in the box, CM Punk saying everybody go to their phones, you know what I mean? Like that was cool, right? I mean, that was cool. As much as I want to not like this guy because I just am predisposed to not like him for some reason, I guess it's because everybody tells me he's so awesome and I don't see it, and I just naturally want to fight back against that. But right now he's got me transfixed, but he has to deliver. Okay. Count me on the side of skeptic. And all I know about this dude are news stories I heard over the past couple of years. And when they weren't him being in shenanigans backstage, they were him being legitimately injured during matches he was fighting. So that's what I'm waiting for, Jim, is him in the ring. Let me see it.
Yeah, Chris, I'm really excited for this because they've done such a good job. You kind of want to see this go into a culmination of a Hell in a Cell or bull strap match or something really kind of next level. But we have to get to that first match and get through it first, and that's a little worries me there, Chris.
Yeah, for someone who is supposedly straight edge, he spends a lot of time in rehab.
You've been waiting a long time to say that, haven't you? You just think you're so special. Well,
Listen,
since
Jimmy, I have a question for our
That was
longtime
good.
listeners. All right. Our longtime
Yeah.
listeners, is Chris now riding harder for Drew McIntyre than I ever did for Seth Rollins? That's the question. Is he riding harder now for Drew than I ever did for Seth Rollins? Because I think he might be.
How many Drew McIntyre shirts do you own, Chris?
0.
Okay, so I think where you put your money where your mouth is, Rod. I think you might have him on that one.
No, listen, I got
0
two
wrestling shirts though as well.
I got a
Well,
Seth
that- I
Rollins
mean, no one's
figurine
perfect.
behind me. I got a Seth Rollins keychain. I got a couple Seth Rollins stickers and 2 Seth Rollins t-shirts. So okay, fine. But still,
I think
Chris
you
is
win on that
riding
one.
really hard for Drew McIntyre. That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of two other individuals that we're excited to see, Tua and Tagovailoa have combined once again. Tua Tagovailoa is back. The Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa. They are the bloodline. There's more of them still. What a terrific match. What a great tag team match. Solo and Tama Tonga against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. It went a long time. It was fun. It had to be that weird ending. And I think we talked about that a little bit. Didn't have to be, but it was. We kind of knew it was going to be a weird ending. Good win for the bloodline. Heyman has no idea what's going on. And I think that gentleman is going to be a really big story here, Rod.
No, I think what we're seeing here is the benefits of Paul Heyman and the reasons that Paul Heyman is a Hall of Famer, right? You have someone, the massive shadow of Roman Reigns, step away, and then Paul Heyman is not filling the shadow completely, but he has enough heat, enough gravitas, enough history with WWE fans that he can help bring along a guy like Solo, who's been lesser during this entire Bloodline story. Two new guys both just get brought in successive weeks, basically, and we're all fine with it because Paul Heyman is there to juggle it for us and tell us what we're supposed to care about and show us with his eyes non-verbally what really matters.
For sure. Chris, I like what they're doing with Solo and what they've done this entire time. Never talked, didn't really wrestle that much, and now he is becoming the face of that bloodline. Do you care about this version of the bloodline at all?
I care probably more than I normally would, but that's partly because I've been calling for Solo to take over in this role for a long time now.
Sure.
Some of that may have just been Roman Reigns hate, but who cares? I still called it. So yeah, it interests me. I like that type of a bad guy boss who doesn't have to talk much, goes out there, takes care of business. That's kind of what he's kind of doing. He needs to talk a little bit less for me, but let Paul Heyman do that type of work. But I enjoy this bloodline. I'm way interested to see who comes out this week.
Jimmy, we got to do something about the names, though. All right, can they be the Gorillas of Destiny or give them different names? Like, because I know it's not WWE's fault that we jokingly called the first one Tagovailoa, but now that's the second one's name. So I mean, it's like we got to do something about the names.
I mean, it's what they're known as. I'd rather have it that what they've always been known as than changing their names. I think that's okay. But yeah, Gorillas of Destiny, I think, is a really good name, though.
What if they were like Jake and James or something? Since we got Jimmy and Jay, what if it was like Jake and James, right? Like, what if we did something like that?
No,
Bo and Duke.
No, Bo. Yes. Bo and Luke Duke. That is what we're gonna name them.
Speaking of Bo Dallas, that could be for another show.
Looks like we have Uncle Howdy coming back. Looks like we have Bo Dallas. Looks like we have Eric Rowan. Looks like we have Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Dexter Lumis perhaps might be in that group as well. All these people who have been cast out. It's the Wyatt Six. They tried to do this a while ago and they didn't really go all in on it. And then obviously what happened with Bray Wyatt happened with Bray Wyatt. I am willing to give this a lot of leeway. I am, and I'll tell you why. I think that they have been given an opportunity to be as creative as possible. They want to build up this group. They want to build up Bo Dallas, but they got to be careful not to just make him a copy of Bray Wyatt because that kind of cheapens it a little bit, cheapens both in my opinion. So I'm willing to give him a little room here. I'm interested to see where this is going to go. Chris, I want to know, do you want this to be completely like supernatural stuff or do you want it to be more based in quotes, realism?
So I don't have the pleasure of being able to say I witnessed any of the good Bray Wyatt stuff. All right. I didn't get to see any of it. And I only got that little bit taste when they
Mountain
came
Dew match with LA Knight.
Yeah. Exactly. And that was about it. And I was a little bit left wanting more because I thought they kept it going on for too long without anything happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I will give them a little leeway, but I need some action in the ring sooner rather than later.
Rod?
Jimmy, I have a question here about masks, right? Are we doing the Uncle Howdy mask? Is he coming back as Uncle Howdy? Are we doing guys that are dressed up like the rabbit and like the other weird things that would show up in the Firefly Funhouse sometimes? Like what are we doing here, right? And I'm fine with Nikki Cross being there. That makes sense to me. I got really excited when you said my guy Dexter Lumis was going to be back and around, but I don't know if Dexter Lumis is like kind of weird, creepy, but you want to laugh at it energy is right for the Wyatt family, but I guess he could probably turn it to a little more creepy. But I always enjoyed the little more comedic side of Dexter Lumis than I do the actual real psychotic. But
yeah, those eyes were always good. But I think he and Rowan as a tag team, you throw them in the tag team division, that'll be perfectly fine. I would like the mask. I think the mask has to come off and it has to be Bo Dallas, I think is what I want there. I'm not sure if we're going to see the rabbit and everything like that again. I think that would be a little too on the nose. We want to go away a little bit from that. But again, I'm willing to give them a little bit of leeway, and I think
When
we're
do
going to
they
see them.
appear? When do they appear, Jimmy? You called the last one pretty well. So when does this one finally show and make it? Because it's got to be Bo Dallas first, right? Like we're not just gonna have
Yeah,
a weird rabbit show up or something.
I have a feeling this is because it's weird because we've got the next couple of pay-per-views. We're in Saudi Arabia. We're in I think Germany. I think SummerSlam's a little far, so I'm thinking this is going to be on a Raw or SmackDown. And
Yeah.
I guess from based on the QR codes, I think it's Smack or Raw that it'll be on.
Well, that makes sense because we're trying to birth mid carders here, right? Like I mean, we're not looking to have somebody skyrocket out of this all the way up to the top of the card, are we?
Well, I mean, you always want that. I mean, you do. I think Bo Dallas would be the one that would do that. Yeah, I think, but you're starting off kind of in the mid tier for sure.
So TV's fine for that then.
Well,
Yeah, I think that's
don't
okay.
we have a little bit of a power vacuum as well since we don't have the iron grip on certain belts anymore? So theoretically, we could see someone make a quick rise to the top. Haven't we seen that before?
We could easily see that. I have a feeling we are going to see a championship change within the next couple of months, just to kind of keep it fresh a little bit. I think Priest, while doing a good job, I think he's a SummerSlam candidate, probably. I would think to maybe
Not
lose
a good
that belt.
sign. Not a good sign for me that Damian still had to have the Judgment Day boys smudged up for him to win. Not a good sign.
Yeah, it was interesting with the Priest and Uso match. I thought that was very good as well. And it's weird that it was, get out of here. Damian Priest kind of went off, and then on Raw comes back and say, "Hey, my bad." Obviously, this is going through the complete and total breakup, which I'm assuming culminates at SummerSlam with he and Finn Balor after he goes through everybody else, or he and Dominic. Who the heck knows?
Let's say Carlito's probably going to be involved in that.
Oh, yeah, Carlito. Yes, Carlito as well. Carlito. We're talking about Carlito in 2024, by the way. Isn't that funny? We have new tag team champions, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair. I think this has kind of been their destiny from the beginning. Match wasn't the most technical match ever. Asuka got hurt in the match, I believe. I think she hurt her knee pretty bad. But this is where Jade and Bianca need to be. They need to be the tag team champions on television all the time, just going through people. This is fine. I like where they're going, Rod.
I didn't know much about Kairi Sane. In fact, I've probably said some disparaging things about here on this podcast before, but my God, Kairi Sane, I appreciate you for getting paid to just get your ass handed to you, because that's basically what you did that entire match. I mean, a lot of the stuff that Jade Cargill was pulling off, I am now a seasoned enough wrestling fan to know that that's a bunch of talent on your end as well there, Kairi Sane. So good on you for being absolutely ready to just get wasted and be on your back and get other people over. And thank you, Kairi Sane.
All right, Chris, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the tag team championship.
You guys were right. Is that what you want to hear?
Yep, done. All right, next thing. Hey, Naomi, over as hell. Let's go, Naomi. Really, really excited to see her getting the props coming back, and obviously that French crowd was amazing, and it was probably her best entrance ever, and she's had some really good ones, especially at WrestleMania. Bayley gets the win, obviously. I think we all thought that was going to happen. Anything to add about the Bayley, Naomi, and Stratton match?
I got to give another mea culpa here. I disparaged Naomi her first match back, and I should have realized that was just first match back rust, because she pulled off some stuff in this match. I mean, her and Tiffany Stratton and Bayley, and Bayley continues to just amaze me, right? Like her ability to make both Tiffany Stratton and Naomi look like $1 million in that match, but then make me absolutely happy as hell that she reversed it at the last second and kept the belt after I did nothing but hate her for a year and a half is supreme talent. So go ahead, Bayley.
Oh, and finally, Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles. Chris, please tell me now you appreciate AJ Styles for who he is and what he does.
I never have said I didn't appreciate AJ Styles.
I know, but as you've said multiple times, I haven't seen the AJ Styles. I haven't seen the Bray Wyatt. I haven't seen this person, that person.
Okay.
Now you saw it.
I was about ready to say that was phenomenal.
Phenomenal?
All right.
Yeah, we get it.
It really, and we're going to give it another hats off to the crowd. All right. Having a live crowd that into a match, and they did it the whole PLE, right? But
Mhm.
into a match that much keeps you as a viewer at home into the match that much more. So how could you not just love it?
It was pretty sweet, Rod. And I know that in the pre-show scrum here, we talked a little bit about just what AJ Styles can do and who he is, and that's such. Cody Rhodes, obviously excellent as well, but AJ Styles needed this, I think.
Like my journey with AJ Styles is like I kind of knew of him, right? Like I had enough connection to the wrestling world even when I was out that like certain things would happen and I would know about it, much like the Undertaker streak, right? Or much like Brock Lesnar, or some of those things that would pop into the headlines. And AJ Styles is a guy that I started hearing involved in a couple of those, right? I heard about this thing called the Boneyard match that happened during COVID times, right? And I got sent that to me. And when I came back to the WWE, I was like, all this guy does is wear a hoodie and walk out with this big, huge guy, Omos, RIP Omos. He should be on a milk carton right now, by the way. Where's Omos? What's he up to? But so I didn't know what the deal was with AJ Styles. Then he gets these guys back and the whole Bullet Club and all that stuff. Again, that's a little beyond my head. I know that he's got this cred from the Japanese days, but it doesn't mean anything to me. He doesn't look all that great into shape. I hear he's injured, maybe, but he's still wrestling. He doesn't look great. And then bam, all of a sudden this match in France happens and all of it comes together. Shout out AJ Styles. Honestly, he could have won that match and I wouldn't have been mad.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, you missed his run as champion, and he did a really good job on SmackDown. He was a very good heel on SmackDown as champion. I want to hit a couple more things before we go. I know we're running a little later here, but that's okay. It's our show. We can do what we want. Rod, you're gonna get it, dude. You're gonna get it in the final four. You're gonna get Ilya Dragunov and Gunther, and it's gonna be a match that people will never ever forget. Chris, I wish I were you right now. You have no idea what to expect, Rod. How excited are you for that? That Ricochet Dragunov match was awesome.
I was just excited for that match, dude. Like I
Yeah.
knew that Ricochet and Dragunov were going to tear it
Yeah.
down because Dragunov is one of those guys that to me is like Gunther. You're not going to have a bad match with this dude. You just can't. He's insane. He's always moving. He's willing to do anything.
He
You know what
gave
I mean?
himself a brain buster on a soup. I mean, he almost killed himself on a move.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's insane. The intensity just pours out of him. You know what I mean? It's like when him and Gunther get together, it's amazing because I thought Gunther killed Sheamus a couple of times in that match. So what in the world is it going to look like when he starts pounding on Dragunov, who's half Sheamus's size?
Chris, what'd you think of the match?
I loved every second of it. All right. Been a Ricochet fan since I first saw him wrestle. All right. So I was already excited. I had heard you guys, of course, talking about this Dragunov dude. So I was excited to finally see him wrestle, and they did not disappoint. I really kind of thought Ricochet was going to win, but hey, I'm glad for the curve on my end. I was surprised. Great match. I'm excited for the next. I do think this is really Gunther's time, though.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think Gunther. You're looking at him. You're looking at him winning it all. I think this would have been a great final. And if it was a finals, I actually might have picked Dragunov because what better way to get somebody off to a hot start than beating Gunther? Because he can still lose. Gunther can still lose again, and that would be okay. But I'm pretty excited about that. And moving forward, we've got some pay-per-views coming up.
Jimmy, am I wrong to say that it seems like they're trying to legitimize the King of the Ring a tad bit more this time around than maybe the last time when our champions were Xavier Woods and Zelina Vega?
I think so. I've always wanted, it's such an easy thing to do to make the winner of the King of the Ring go on to SummerSlam to face the champion. I mean, that's easy, and it bridges the gap between Mania and SummerSlam. Now, obviously, we have another big one coming up in Money in the Bank as well, which will be amazing because that always is. But it does bridge that gap, and I really appreciate them trying to move into more of a little prestigious role with that.
But it just seems like we have better people involved in it. You know what I mean? Like Gunther.
Yeah.
Like the last time around the King of the Ring, a guy at Gunther's status wasn't going to get involved in this. They just put main event Jey Uso in the King of the Ring tournament. You know what I mean? McIntyre was going to be in it. You know, I mean, it just seems to me that like they have bigger people this time around.
Chris, how excited are you for the rest of the King of the Ring tournament?
Listen, I have said from the very beginning of you guys inviting me on this show that I do like, not just like, I love these types of tournaments. All right. Give me guys going up against each other to move on and to become this number one contender and go for the belt. You can be a new fan jumping in this week and be like, oh, here is a tournament of these guys. Then whoever wins gets to fight for the belt. Oh, I don't have to know any of this additional backstory. I can follow right now. Let's go. I love that.
And with that, you've been listening to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the More You Knows podcast network. You're in the ring with Jimmy, Chris, and Rod.
R-Truth, my man, I love what you're doing, but like, let's calm down a little bit, right? We're maybe going a little too far, right? Maybe a little too far. We're bringing in Dan Hurley. We're fighting college basketball teams. Come on, R-Truth, mixing up the cities and mixing up other wrestlers, but thinking that you can wrestle an NCAA basketball team, maybe we're pushing it too far. Let's not jump the shark.
Goodbye, net. Yeah.